Hi, we're here from Crossroads Center for Children. We've been here before. This is our second show, and we're really happy to be here. First of all, I want to thank Gillespie Group for being our sponsor for this show. Dave All was supposed to be here with us today, but unfortunately something came up, so he wasn't able to. We're really thankful to David Bucco and that whole crew for everything they do for us all year long. So thank you to them, and let's get started. We're going to have everybody introduce themselves in their role with Crossroads. Jump right in, ladies.
My name's Kelly Young. I'm the Executive Director at Crossroads.
My name's Carolyn Sneezak. I'm the Clinical Director at Crossroads.
And I'm Krista Grant, and I'm a parent and ongoing supporter for the Crossroads Center.
And my name's Mary Oil, and I'm also a parent and ongoing supporter.
And my name is Wendy Lukes, and I'm the program bookkeeper.
And I'm Vicki Ramatar, and I am a past teacher with Crossroads, and now I'm doing resource development. And that is why we're here today, to talk about money and why we need it. Some of our giving, we have Giving Tuesday coming up, and we have New York Gives Day coming up, and we really wanted to let people know, like, why it's so important that we have that support from the community. So here we are. What are some of our financial challenges at Crossroads, and why do we need help from outside?
Well, I think we're a nonprofit to start, so that certainly implies in and of itself that we rely on donations and fundraising to continue to operate our program. We do receive money for our children who attend program. If they have special needs, we receive tuition that is set by the state. So we do have funding that comes from school districts and counties to support our programs. But all the other extra programs that we do, all the extra projects that we do, don't always have the funding behind them. So we rely on grants and donations and fundraising to really support all those extra things that we do.
Awesome, thank you.
The private sector of it, that draws in a lot of extra money, and but we have to follow strict regulations when you're not-for-profit, and that kind of hinders the ability to go out and just, make your own money. So it's a level, and that's, you have to start there. So you add all your private sectors to add to that, and fundraising. So fundraising, Giving Tuesday, all those help to fund extras that we need and want.
Our program is really individualized also. Our teaching strategies are really focused on one-to-one or small group ratios, and so we really need to have extra staff in order to support the intensity of the program and have it be really individualized. So we need to, the money that we get from the counties for tuition doesn't always cover what we feel would create the best program for the kids.
And it's a limit. There's a limit on how much that is. It's all decided for you. So you can, your school can be completely full with students, and so there's just no other way to make money unless you go outside of that with fundraising or private
Donations and grants and things.
Or programs, like daycares and nurseries and that kind of thing.
From our two alumni parents, what about some of the services that your child might have needed? Could you talk about that at all?
Well, my son is now 19, so we're reaping all the benefits of Crossroads many years ago. But we had toured 5 different schools in the area, and really Crossroads stood out in terms of their passion and their dedication. And, as was said, the amount of individualized attention that Matthew got was such a great investment that now, we're reaping the benefits. It really was money that, and time that was well spent, because the services he received was a great springboard for him for his future education.
Wonderful to hear that.
For me, my son right now, he's going to be 4-year-old. For 4 months, he received service from Crossroads because one of the doctors that he saw earlier diagnosed him with autism. And, thank God that we have Crossroads to help, and we listened to the clinical director and get him to do a second evaluation with another team of doctors. And I think that right now, even though he's not on the spectrum, he was benefit from the service that we receive, and as a parent who have a short amount of experience understanding what parents whose children have autism, now I can really relate to other parents whose children have special needs. And I think that it's really important for myself and my family to continue to support Crossroads, because I know just doing research how underfunded other organizations, not just Crossroads, is facing. There's not that many money going into autism therapy research, and I know how many other parents might not have the means to actually receive the service because of different insurance policy. And I think for me, I want to give back. I want to do what I can do to contribute back to an organization who really dedicate to serve not just children with autism, but children in general, to increase awareness about autism, talk about promotion of acceptance for all children with different special needs is what we need in the country we live in today.
Yeah, I came to Crossroads in 2003, and I barely knew what autism was. So I just was looking for a job, and so now it's been 13 and a half years, and the knowledge over those years, it started so, it starts low, and then I just learned so much, and the understanding, and so Crossroads has taught me a whole different level of children. I have, I don't have any experience other than working for Crossroads, and because I work in the business office, I don't have a child with autism, but I understand just from the parents and getting to know them and watching the kids change and learn and grow. And, over the years I've seen little ones come through the door that, all they did was cry, and then in a month they're, walking around independent and, proud that they feel the achievement that they're making. And I don't think everyone understands that there's a lot of autism out there that people put it's like a stigma on, that children understand, even though they have autism or another special needs, they understand. They're not invisible to your being there. I think Crossroads teaches those children to become individuals and to matter. That's what keeps me here. It's what keeps me donating, on other levels and volunteering for the fundraising and stuff like that. You can see that you're making a difference, and so the more people that we can get to understand what we do, the more they'll have passion in helping Crossroads grow. And it has grown. We've grown so much over the years, but we need, because autism is growing, we need to grow.
Yeah.
And everybody's, things change, and the learning and what's out there, you just can't get enough in. And so
There's a lot. I don't know what I was just gonna say. I just lost it. But
Well, I think given that we rely on volunteers and donations, and Wendy spoke about her and personally donating and giving to the school through volunteering. Mary has spoken about what the school means to her, and Krista's doing ongoing fundraisers for us. Maybe you guys want to share kind of how people can help Crossroads and help us with that aspect of it.
It's always been a very personal thing for our entire family. Matthew gained so much from Crossroads, as did we, because there was a lot of parent training and parent support, and we didn't know anything when we first came in, so we really kind of got our education through Crossroads also. So I know my husband in particular did a lot in terms of the support group for parents, but we've always tried to participate in the fundraisers. We've done runs for Crossroads, the gala. One thing personally for our family is that my husband's mother had passed away suddenly, and Crossroads had such an impact on our extended family that they really wanted the donations to honor her to go to Crossroads, because they thought, what better way to honor her memory than to support the school that supported her grandson. So that was
That's special.
Very nice.
So it really had a very important impact on everyone who knows Matthew knows how important Crossroads is.
Yeah. I think also for birthdays or Christmas, or that person that you can't think of what to buy a present for, it would be such a nice honor for us to receive a donation in someone's name, in addition to somebody that's passed away as well. How about for you?
Well, my full-time job is a college administrator at Siena College, but I have a side gig on the side. I'm a Zumba instructor, so I love to dance, and I thought about what I can do to use the talent or the gift that I have in a fun way to get people to donate money for a good cause. So the Zumbathon idea come about, and I work with our students. We have a club on campus called Inspire. The purpose is to raise awareness on autism, and we just come up with the idea that we want to do a Zumbathon event in December. And the Zumbathon event is going to take place on December 10th from 1 to 2:30 at Siena College in the MAC complex, and it'll be $15 per person to participate. It's 1.5 hours full of fun and dancing. And I always say I start promoting, I told my colleagues and my friends and family that you don't have to know how to dance to do Zumba. Even if you don't want to dance, just show up, write a check, give us money. That will be great too.
Yeah.
That works for us.
So.
And we're going to have an information table at that event too, and be able to share, information. And we're going to we have that on our website too. Your event is on our website. We put it on the Chamber of Commerce website also. So that's a good one. That's coming up in December. In November, we still have Giving Tuesday, #New York Gives Day. That's coming up as well, and that's an all-day event where it's a global event that has been going on for 5 years, but this is our 3rd year, and this year, we've raised money in the past for our pavilion. We made a pavilion for our students. The year after that, we did it for the iPad program, and this year we are doing it for our smart technology to make our school more secure and offer better accessible technological educational programming for our kids. So every public school that you walk into, they have smart boards and they have security cameras and different things like that. We don't have any of that, so that's what we're wanting to get started on. So that's a big project, and
New York Gives Day or Giving Tuesday is kind of, like Vicki said, probably 5 years old, and it started to follow Black Friday and Small Business Saturday and Cyber Monday, when people are looking for a way to donate and give back to a cause. So Giving Tuesday is for nonprofits across the world, and New York Gives Day specifically focuses on those within New York State, but a way to give back to nonprofit organizations. And Wendy, I think you guys were a big supporter of Giving Tuesday in the past.
Yep.
Even when we did the pavilion, I'm trying to remember.
Yeah, we're going to do it again this year, and get it out there and try and do it earlier this year, because I think if we can get it out there earlier, it gives people more time to ask, number one, what it is that they're looking at, because again, if you're not familiar with that and you're not someone who is involved in a not-for-profit, you may never even know that this exists. That this is an important fundraiser for all of the nonprofits.
Right.
And it really is, and it can generate a great deal of money if you see a jar, throw some money in it, and we will have Crossroads jars out there. But I think if we can get it out there a little bit sooner, it might help make people more aware of that kind of fundraiser.
Yeah,
Because
definitely.
until you brought it up a couple years back, I never heard of it.
Yeah.
So, you know, we're always trying to get people aware of what they can do to help us, you know, especially, you know, that's
Yeah.
why we're here.
So we have the online donations and the check writing appeal letter thing. We also, if you're a business and you would like to host a jar, let us know, because that's what Wendy's talking about. You have yours going to the Charlton Tavern.
Yes, yep.
Right? You're
Yes.
taking one to the Cock and Bull.
Yep.
I'm bringing one to Hair and Nail Salon. We have 10 businesses that agreed to host a jar so far, which is bigger than ever, and the jars are bigger than ever. And they're big and they're colorful, and Siobhan has been painting them. They're beautiful, and it'll bring a lot of attention to us as well, because part of it is increasing visibility, right?
Yeah, but I
So-
mean, not just that, because I mean, right now there's 10 businesses, that's great, but not everyone visits those 10 businesses. So certainly through our website, people can make a donation, and also through New York Gives Day.
Right, the Give Gab.
Give Gab program.
And that's on our website too.
There's a link from our website that you
Yeah.
can go on and directly make a contribution to Crossroads. If you do it on that Tuesday, the platform Give Gab is donating their portion of it, their fee. So they're waiving all fees for that day. So if you do it on Tuesday, it's even a few extra dollars for us, but it is set up to take at any point. And it also shows you other nonprofits in New York State that have signed up to do it. There are some pretty big campaigns across the state to really push New York Gives Day, so that it's being more advertised. Like Wendy, you said you hadn't heard about it before. They're trying to push that a little bit more. This is one of the first years I think that they're really doing that campaign. So lots of ways.
Yeah, and if you follow our website, every time, each month, we try and put something out there for fundraising, keep everybody up to snuff on what's coming. We do golf tournaments and gala and, you know, all kinds of fundraisers. So if you look at our website and it interests you, keep checking back in because there's lots of ways to give for lots of different reasons.
One of the, I guess, fundraising avenues that I personally like is the Amazon Smile, because I'm constantly buying things on Amazon anyway. It's no different for me. It's no additional effort. I just choose Amazon Smile and make all my purchases, and then a small part of what I bought gets
So
donated
lead
to the
someone
school.
through the process of that. Like if they were gonna do, they're a shopper on Amazon. Like
Yeah.
they're a 23-year-old kid or something, like my son.
Christmas is coming up, so
Oh, yes,
Christmas is coming up.
That's a
how
big one.
to go about getting involved in it.
Well, I'm trying to remember, because I think I went on Amazon Smile and I entered a code for Crossroads, and there were several times that I went on Amazon and forgot that I had registered, and it popped up a reminder for me, which was great,
that's good.
because
Yeah, I get
then
that.
I could kind of save it into my favorites, and then I can just go there quickly and easily. But luckily it does give you a little reminder, but it's very simple. I think I put in a code for Crossroads, and then it tells me after I make my purchase, I submit my order, it tells me how much is being donated based on what I had bought, which is often a lot. So I think that's a really easy way for people to help, because you're going to go on and buy the things you need anyway. So it's no extra effort really.
Yeah.
And I think being that it's for Crossroads and kind of going on that small business model of, you know, I like giving to a lot of different charities, but with Crossroads, you can see immediately what the impact of your donation is in terms of the different equipment that you guys are able to get, or, you know, that the amount that you can give really has a big impact. And it's right here in our community, so we can see that, and in addition for the kids, so that's wonderful.
Yeah.
And I would say if people can't monetarily give too, there's lots of opportunities for volunteering.
Yes.
Vicki has set up monthly a volunteer orientation session, so if you're interested in giving back to Crossroads, maybe you can't do it financially right now, but there's lots of opportunities to help us, and we can always use volunteers.
Yeah, volunteering is a good one, or helping with a fundraiser, or just telling people about Crossroads, or come for a tour, or like Wendy said, going on the website. So how did everybody find Crossroads in the first place? And our clock isn't working, so we have no idea what our time frame is, but
I think we're doing fabulous.
how did everybody come across Crossroads? Because for everybody, I'm sure it's different, and we've all stayed with
The newspaper.
the newspaper. Okay.
Yeah, and now think of that many years ago. Hardly anyone
Yeah.
uses a newspaper
Yeah.
for a job. It's all Craigslist or online.
Yeah.
And I was looking for a job, and it came up, and let me tell you, it's so different. I've learned so much.
Yeah.
And I'm
Also
hooked.
The same
Yeah.
for me also.
Yeah.
I moved back home after leaving college and opened up the paper and there was a job.
Yep.
There's something to be
happens.
said about working. A lot of people say, well, if it doesn't feel like work, then you're not working. You know, you're just getting up and doing what you love to do every single day. And I think that holds true for a lot of Crossroads and their employees. I think, you know, we're doing something. It's not for us, it's for the children, it's helping them, and that's how we can give to someone other than ourselves.
I think for us, it was such a whirlwind when my son got diagnosed with autism because it was really this huge learning curve for us. So we were looking at a lot of different schools, trying to read everything we could about autism. And Crossroads stood out. I mean, everyone had good programs and well done, but Crossroads stood out in terms of the passion that people had and also the sense of urgency. Because I don't think other places communicated what an impact early intervention could have. And at Crossroads, that's what it was. And before you're talking about individualized attention, we were at meetings every other week, seeing Matthew's progress, adjusting it where it needed to be adjusted. We were getting trained. It was huge, and it made an incredible difference in his life. So I think for people who don't know about autism and think, well, that's just what it is, the rest of your life, it made an incredible change in my son's life.
And people need to understand that change costs money. It sounds harsh, but I mean, the passion is there. That's what keeps us there, but the money is what sustains us.
5 minutes.
So, you know, we need to have that money to keep the doors open, to grow with technology, with the rest of the world. I mean, you've got all the school districts and, you know, their budgets are huge compared to our little budget. And we don't have the ability to go out and buy, like you said, smart whatever, you know, all that technology that we need in order to keep up with the world and its changes. And so we can provide the service to the kids that need it, like now. For what they need now.
Right. Applied behavior analysis has so many different elements and strategies and techniques and components and services, and it is so highly individualized, and that's what we do, but that's what works, and it does cost money. How do we want to wrap this up? So, anybody have any parting thoughts? Because I know our time is ticking.
Christmas is coming, and if at all you need to spend some money, we have open arms. And remember Crossroads Center for Children.
I also think it's good for people who are supporters to identify that would be a great gift.
Yes.
Right? Because sometimes people might feel awkward giving a charitable donation, but I think that would be an awesome gift. So there you go. Steve's all set. He knows what to get me for Christmas.
I hope people will tune in on Giving Tuesday to our website or the Gives Gab New York Gives Day website to make a donation to us or to again volunteer, do something to give back to the nonprofits, especially us that are doing so much.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to come across as that we're begging for money, but I think it is important for any profit in New York State to really stay competitive and offer the best services. We rely on grants and fundraising, and whether that be grassroots fundraising, like the Zumbathon that Krista's doing for us, is great. Those are the things that we need to really help with all the extras that we do. I mean, we obviously started the school in '98 and rely on the tuition that the New York State sets for us, but in order to do all the extra things is really what we're looking at using fundraising money from.
Any parting thoughts? How did you come across Crossroads, real quick?
Insurance company, but I definitely gone on Facebook to read the review to see what other parents have utilized the service have said. It was a lot of great review, and I actually met up with one of the parents in person to talk more about her experience in terms of using Crossroads and how her son have like so much progress, and seeing it in like seeing personally experience with my son, even who doesn't have autism, I can still see the benefit of
Reviews are, I think
using the
reviews are
school.
really important because a lot of people look to reviews
Yep.
for guidance. And if people don't fill them out, you don't really have any reviews, you don't know. So that's great.
Yeah, definitely.
So I think that even if you don't have the time to volunteer or
know.
have the
I know.
fund to give this Giving Tuesday, if you can even advertise for us on your social media account to really just promote us, to have other people to learn more about our organization, that will be a great way to give
Yeah.
back to.
Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah, share, like and share. So I want to thank everyone here today for coming and being a part of this. I want to thank myself because it's not, it's really not very easy to do this. It's kind of, everybody's a little nervous, but Crossroads is really important to everyone here, and we all feel very passionately about what we do, and we want it to continue because there's a future, and these kids they're only little for a while. They're growing up to be adults, and we want to help them to have the best, most productive lives possible, and everybody here is committed to that. So thank you for watching, and we'll be back hopefully in December.
And thank you to Gillespie for sponsoring.
Yes.
It's unfortunate they weren't able to be here. They've done a lot for the school, so we certainly thank them as well.
What have they done for the school? They've done a lot.
We're on time, but to talk quickly, they've certainly helped us building-wise, helping to build a pavilion, putting up a shed for us, but just also as support, just being there and really helping us from the beginning figure out the whole world of floor plans and leasing and all of that. So they've been a strong supporter of the school.
They're a great group of people. So thank you and goodbye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.